guys, it's April. Welcome back to my channel. And recently I read the book 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, and that book title may seem really cheesy, but I actually learned quite a lot from that book. And one of the chapters actually talked about the quadrants of urgency and importance.
If you think about all the things you do in a day, which are important and which are urgent? In quadrant 1, we have tasks that are important and urgent. In quadrant 3, we have tasks that are urgent but not that important to you, such as unfulfilling work or something you're forced to do. In quadrant 4, we have things that are neither important or urgent, aka procrastination, such as mindlessly scrolling through social media. But what about quadrant 2?
In this video, I'll be talking about how I've been trying to incorporate these quadrant 2 activities into my life, and they aren't the most urgent tasks. I have other important deadlines to meet, but these things can eventually add value to my life in the long run. Right now, even though I'm quite young, I'm turning 19, I still constantly have the feeling that I've missed out so much learning when I was a child or when I was growing up in secondary school. Imagine when I was 10 years old, I actually had interest in filming and editing and took the time to learn when I was younger. And right now I'd be so much better at it. Or even if I took art more seriously as a child growing up, instead of just putting it as something I do in my free time or when I feel like it. When you say you do it when you are free, you don't actually do it, because when are you ever free, you know? These skills may not necessarily become a full-blown career or anything, but they can simply remain as hobbies, you know? And it's just leveling up yourself. Hence, I started to expose myself to more new things. Learning a new language has been something on my bucket list for a really long time, but I just could never do it properly.
I started to learn Korean again. It was something I tried to pick up a few years ago, but only managed to learn a bit of Hangul. Right now, I'm learning the grammar with resources online, such as the Talk to Me in Korean textbook and podcast. I would listen to the podcast while on public transport and go back to review the textbook and make notes.
Back then when I tried learning Korean, I didn't really do it very consistently. I would occasionally try to search up videos on YouTube and never revise them ever again. And eventually I just got sick and tired of it. But right now I've been trying to keep consistent with the resources I have and revise more often. So yeah.
저는 자고 싶어요. Another skill I've been trying to pick up is touch typing. I used to be the slowest typer ever, and I started at 28 words per minute and only used 2 fingers for some reason. It was just something I didn't really realize growing up, and other people learned it when they are much younger.
My goal is to hit 80 words per minute, but that seems quite far ahead right now. But I must say, I've gotten a lot better after practicing a few weeks. The feeling of typing without looking at the keyboard is just so satisfying. But I still sort of treat it like a game where I always try to beat my high score. During the day, during small pockets of time, I will just go onto the typing website and bust out a few sessions. Honestly, right now, I sometimes procrastinate by doing the typing games, which is, yeah, it's probably not that good.
Doors are closing.
And as someone who often spends more than an hour on public transport because the place I live just isn't near any location at all, I have been more productive with the help of ebooks and also podcasts. I recently stumbled across this financial literacy podcast, and it's by a Singaporean, so I felt the way he explained things and the topics he covered were much more relevant to myself, and it has made financial literacy a little less intimidating to learn. Things I hope to be able to dabble in is maybe coding and understanding cryptocurrency. These 2 things are really foreign to me right now, but I hope to be able to understand them in the future. everyone knows that exercise is probably good for you and you should probably do it unless you want to like have back pain when you turn 21. But I just never take it very seriously. It's like important but also not urgent. So that's why I've been trying to take fitness more seriously, I guess.
Rope skipping is something I've been getting into. It's one form of cardio that I do not hate that much and gives me the opportunity to learn tricks. I can also jump to the beat of music and follow the rhythm with tricks, and it kind of feels like dancing.
I feel like watching back the footage of me skipping. I'm not sure if it's me or my form looks really bad. Like, I see videos of people skipping, they look really like graceful and they land on their feet really like gently. But I feel like I look really clumsy and not really that streamlined in a sense. So maybe that's something I can improve on.
I used to hate cardio a lot because I only associated it with running, and running is like the worst thing ever. And that's why it's just important to find exercises that you actually enjoy.
I have considered getting a gym membership that would cost like $70-$80 a month, but I just can't justify that spending right now because home workouts can engage my muscles just fine because I am a weak sauce.
I've been working towards doing my first push-up with progressive overload, as I have learned from hybrid calisthenics. I swear to God, watching this, it might look super stupid and like not challenging, but I'm not lying when I say that my arm strength is literally non-existent. Apart from that, I try to do strength training regularly at home with the help of resistance band and body weight. Another future goal is to do a pull-up. The current update is that I can't even hang on the bar for more than 10 seconds, so that's going great.
Women who can do pull-ups, they are my idols. In my life, I feel like I always have something engaging my brain, whether be it like YouTube videos, TikTok videos, social media, work, editing, all this kind of stuff. Like there's the subreddit shower thoughts where people just post things that make sense but we just never realize in daily life because in the shower you don't really have to think about anything, and that's why these big brain moments always come in the shower.
One habit I've been practicing is walking without any music or entertainment. On one hand, it burns some of the calories from that packet of Oreos I had for breakfast, but it also gives me the opportunity to not be stimulated. At night, I love walking home from the MRT station as it's often cooling and I'm not sweating buckets by the time I reach home.
Look, it's the moon.
I find it very therapeutic to engage in the monotony of taking steps and being with my own thoughts.
You know, one thing my friend taught me was to look at traffic passing by. Like, it's the most satisfying thing ever because I don't know, you just try it. Like when she first said it, I'm like, that sounds freaking stupid. But after I tried it, it's actually like quite fun. Like when you're waiting at a traffic light, I encourage everyone to try it because you feel the wind of the car passing and you also hear the sound getting softer to louder and then softer again. 10 out of 10 would recommend trying.
I also try to incorporate this principle when I'm drawing. I often have a YouTube video playing in the background and it's kind of distracting.
So I have this bad habit of playing YouTube videos every time when I'm in the shower. And that's probably the one thing that's stopping me from getting a trending post on the shower thoughts subreddit.
But then, Where got time for all these things?
At the end of the day, it just goes back to prioritizing your tasks and your goals, because in this world, there's no one person that can do everything or learn everything. And if you look at your day-to-day, you can actually see which quadrant you're spending majority of your time in. Of course, I'm not suggesting that you forego all your urgent tasks, or even you can't just spend mindless time in quadrant 4. I mean, I still enjoy watching YouTube videos, but it's just important to be mindful of how you spend your time and make that time for important activities.
Every week, I try to block out some free time for it. Usually, 60% of the time, things don't go to plan due to last-minute meetings or waking up late. But I am more mindful of how I spend my time, and I guess that's the first step.
I hope it's not totally lame that I'm trying to up my typing speed and also go around looking at cars in the middle of the night while walking home. But life is short and you should probably just enjoy it, And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!